Good morning from Artistic Artifacts here in Alexandria, Virginia. I am Barbara and
I'm Catherine.
We're going to chat with you today about the BERNINA 990 and some of its special features, most specifically the BISR. But before we get into that, we want to talk about our special today. We're on the 5th Saturday of the month, and every 5th Saturday here in the store, we have an end of bolt sale. So any bolt of fabric that you finish, you get 40% off. So that's a great excuse to come in and get that backing fabric that you need for your latest quilt, because what better price are you going to get on that? So with that said, we hope to see you in the store today, and we're going to talk a little bit about the 990 this morning.
I am so excited about this machine. We'll talk about the BISR, but there's so many other features that are just wonderful. Three of them that I really like are the fully automatic threading. You bring your threading down through here, but then getting it in the needle, the machine does it. And my eyes aren't what they used to be. And so I really appreciate that the machine just does it for me.
Yes.
With a push of the button. So another thing I like is this 10-inch touch screen here. It's, again, helpful for older eyes. And also there's more information that can be on the screen all at one time. And so that's very helpful. And then within this screen, they have the onboard help center. That's fabulous.
Right here?
Yes. I have the L890 serger, and the only way I'm able to operate that serger is because it also has the onboard help center.
Very helpful.
And helps me step by step. This is fabulous, this help center. You can sit down at this machine with confidence on day one because it's all right there. It tells you how to do everything that you might want to do.
So the quick start menu has a lot of little tutorials in it, like threading your machine, doing the bobbin, that sort of thing. The entire manual is here, and your fabric consultant is here. So you get lots of information here in this help center. It really is a wonderful piece that's on this machine.
Yeah. So those are my big three, in addition to the BISR. What do you like about this machine?
I love this 14-inch throat space because I am a free motion quilter and a budding embroiderer. So this throat space gives me a lot of room to maneuver my quilts or whatever my project is around underneath the throat. And it also gives us the opportunity for the giant hoop that comes with this machine that we'll show you a little later on. So those are two things that I particularly like. And then I'm with Catherine. I love the big screen and the onboard help, because I'm always looking up something in the instruction manual. There's so much to learn about this machine. It gives you all the information right there at your fingertips.
Yeah. So we said we'd talk about the BISR, the BERNINA Integrated Stitch Regulator. So I'm going to let Barbara concentrate on that. So first tell us, what is the BISR?
So the BERNINA Integrated Stitch Regulator functions very similarly to the BSR, or the BERNINA Stitch Regulator, that is on all of our other domestic machines. However, this one is built into the machine, so you don't have to add an additional foot. And what the nice thing about that is, this stitch regulator, you can use all of your feet, all of your free motion quilting feet with this stitch regulator. You're not limited to just the 3 that the removable stitch regulator has on the other machines. So it opens up a lot more options for you for free motion quilting. So a couple of things about that. It's really easy to access here. We can access it right here. There's a shortcut on your home screen, and there's also a shortcut on your drop-down menu. It says BISR right here. So you can tap either one. It takes you to the same place. And here it's telling us to put on the special BISR stitch plate. And that is this stitch plate here. And what is cool about this stitch plate is it has a 5.5 millimeter opening. So you could do zigzag with this, which is great for folks doing maybe some fiber arts or some thread painting. And it has this little window here that's a cutout for the sensor. The sensor is located on your bobbin door, which with this lucite thing, it's hard for me to show you with the glare of the lighting. So, but on your bobbin door, you have the typical little black box, and that's where your sensor is. And it shines up through this hole and senses the movement of the fabric, so it knows how fast to make the needle go up and down. So, and the machine also senses which throat plate is on the machine. So once I put this on, it knows that I have this plate on, and the reminder goes away. So now we're ready to do some free motion quilting.
So that's new with the B990, isn't it?
It
the
is.
ability for the machine to recognize the stitch plate that is on there.
And it will recognize the other stitch plates that come with this machine also, not just the BISR.
That's fabulous.
Yeah, it is really nice. So then to get started here, you have the 3 BSR modes. So you could pick BSR 1, 2, or 3, very similar to the Q series machines. And then you can tell it which foot you want here, and look at all the feet that you can use with this BSR, as opposed to just the 3 that you had on the other one. You could use your echo quilting clips. You could use your couching feet. You could use the adjustable height feet. You could use the ruler foot, which I am most excited about, that you could use the ruler foot on this machine.
So that means I can use rulers on here with free motion quilting and still have the BISR capability.
Yes.
That's really a big deal.
Yes, it's a very big deal. So this machine's come a long way from our other models. So I'm going to pick, I happen to personally like the adjustable height feet. So I'm picking the number 73 foot today. And the adjustable height feet are, they allow you to change the height of the foot based on your project. Mm-hmm. So if you have a thicker quilt, or maybe an art quilt with a lot of embellishments on it, you could raise the height of the foot.
Okay.
Or if you are using a thin batting, you could lower the height of the foot so that you can get good quality stitches on no matter what kind of project that you're doing. Some of the other things on here are, you want to activate your laser light so that you can see. The laser light is going to tell you, I've just deactivated it there we go, is going to tell you where the needle will next penetrate the fabric, so to keep you on board with whatever your design is, that your motif that you're creating.
So helpful, especially if you want to change threads or start and stop, you know exactly where that needle is going to go.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then in BSR 1, we have the ability to change our stitches per inch. The default is at 12. So you can make your stitches longer or shorter depending upon your project. And like Catherine was telling me, different ways she likes to use that stitch regulator.
Well, you know, if I have something that is really thick, like you said, with the thick batting, I'll use that adjustable presser foot, but I'll also lengthen my stitch length. Mm-hmm. Because I don't want the machine to be trying to stitch very, very fine and close stitches on something that is thick, like a comforter or some kind of home deck kind of thing. But if I'm stitching on something that's a wall hanging or doing thread painting, I might want those stitches per inch to be much smaller, many more stitches per inch. And then that way I can totally customize this. Mm-hmm. And what's so nice is with the presser foot customization, the stitch length customization, any project that we choose to work on, we will still get those great results.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And you can, so the stitches per inch can be changed in BSR 1 and BSR 2. In BSR 1, where we are now, you could see this RPMs here. So this is your needle idle speed. In BSR 1, when you're stitching free motion quilting, when you stop moving the fabric, the needle will continue to go up and down. And that will create your nice sharp points that you get maybe in the spiral or on a leaf design or on a flower petal. So what you need to do is you need to hesitate for just a hair of a second at that point, so the needle takes an extra stitch there to give you that nice crisp point. If you are a fast sewer, you can increase the RPMs. If you're a slow free motion quilter like myself, I like to reduce it a little bit, which means you have to hesitate for maybe a little bit more than a half a second to get that crisp point. So play with that a little bit to see what works best for your style of stitching, because you have a lot of options there. BSR 2, you only have the stitches per inch here, because in BSR 2, when you stop moving the fabric, the needle stops going up and down. And this is great for ruler work, because you continually have to readjust the ruler, reposition the ruler. When you've quilted out of your hand zone and you need to bring your hands back down, that's good for that. It's great for small stitches like micro stippling and little pebbles, that sort of thing too. So it offers you the opportunity to choose between 1 and 2, depending upon what you're doing on your project.
I've heard a Bernina ambassador recommend that when you're first learning to do free motion quilting, you keep it in BSR 2, so that needle stops. So like you say, you can go a little bit slower and feel like you have more control. I like BSR 1. I like that needle to keep going, but like you said, it's just a personal preference.
Yeah, and I rotate between the 2 of them depending upon what stitches I'm doing. So if I'm doing pebbles, a little fill-in with pebbles, I might switch it over to 2. And then I'm going back to my swirls, so I'll switch it over to 1. So I go back and forth during my stitching. So a couple of other things you want to do is, and I'm going to lose my thought here. We talked about the laser already. If you start moving your fabric too fast, the machine's going to yell at you and let you know that you're moving it faster than the machine can sense or read the fabric movement. So it'll make a sound for you to tell you to slow down. Perhaps you're doing some thread painting or working on your art quilt. You might want to turn that sensor off, because at that point you don't care that you're going too fast, and that's fine. That just gives you another option that varies depending upon the project type that you're working on.
Right. One thing I like to do as well is use the BSR 3 mode, the basting mode, because when I lay out a quilt sandwich, I like to pin baste. But then once I get it to the machine, it's nice to lay in a basting grid, and then I can take all those pins out and not worry about them
having
as I'm doing my actual
That's
quilt.
a great idea.
Yeah.
And the BSR 3 mode has 2 basting modes. You can get either 2 stitches per inch, which are 1/2 inch long stitches, or 4 stitches per inch at 1/4 inch long. Both very easy to remove when you finish your project. You don't have to pick out a lot of little stitches. They'll just come right out easily.
Right. The one other thing that we had talked about that we liked is this needle up, needle down when you stop option.
Yeah, you should. I would recommend that you always put the needle down in your free motion quilting. So anytime you're repositioning your hands or the ruler, or maybe having to move your project around a little bit, the needle is always down and you're not going to lose your position. It's not going to accidentally scoot out of position, and then you're not starting in the right spot when you pick up from where you left off. So I would definitely think that you should recommend that you would put the needle down always when you're doing free motion quilting.
Great. Well, not only is this a fabulous machine, you can order this cabinet that goes with it. And I am so impressed with this cabinet because of the features that it has. It has these drawers here for storage, so you can keep your tools. I keep my rulers in one because when I'm using my rulers for free motion quilting. But take a look at this. This slides out like this, and here's your embroidery module. So you no longer have to worry about where do I keep this and how do I keep it clean and safe and that it won't fall over. It's right in here, right next to your machine. And on the other side, Barbara, could you pull that out? We've got another pull-out door that has hoop storage on it.
And you could do several hoops on here. We just got one to demonstrate.
Pegs are adjustable. And so this hoop, look at the size of this hoop. It's amazing. So
it's called the giant hoop for a good reason.
Right. So if you're an embroidery, man, there's no limit to what you can do. And this hoop works because of this huge throat space, this 14-inch throat space right here. So Barbara and I both quilt a lot on this normal, the medium size.
The medium clamp hoop.
And
so if you're doing quilting in the hoop, which hoop would you rather be quilting in? You're going to have to rehoop a lot more times in this hoop than you are in that hoop. You're going to cover a lot more square footage with that giant hoop for your quilting in the hoop projects.
Right. And again, there's a a great place to store these where they're not going to be clattering on the floor because you accidentally knocked them off the shelf or something like that. So the cabinet over there by Barbara has doors so that when you are not sewing, you can lower your machine and the doors come out and totally enclose this cabinet to make it a way to keep your machine clean, your room tidy, and the machine safe when you're not using it. But this is what I really like, is there's a leaf right here that flips up very easily. You pull this out, then you open up this drawer, and you can put on this extension right here, right there, that rests on the drawer. On the back is a leaf that flips up to give you space back here. And then this goes right here to fill in the space between the leaf and this left side table. So look at this huge space that you have. This is equivalent to having the Q20 sit-down table amount of space available. So that means when you're doing your free motion quilting, you're not worried about the weight of that quilt falling off.
Look how much space you have with this.
Yes, this was featured in our newsletter this week, these cute cat panels that we have. And Chris has put this into a wonky log cabin quilt. And you can quilt this entire small quilt or wall hanging without any edges falling off these extended surfaces of this cabinet. So I think it's just fabulous.
It's a terrific cabinet.
Yes,
it's well thought out, well planned. Yes, definitely.
So, and it is on wheels, so you can pull it out when you want to flip up these leaves, and then you can, store it when you want to. Just as an aside here, we have this cute cat panel, but it also comes with dogs. So
if you're a dog lover, you might want to go for the dog panel.
So 2 cute things to practice on free motion quilting. So anyway, we had fun with that. So
we have a couple of these machines in stock. So you locals, please come in today, take it for a test drive, ask us any questions. We'll be glad to demonstrate for you and see what you think. We are very competitively priced, and we do accept trade-ins. So please come by and chat with us about it.
Yeah, this is really a one machine does it all, because if you are trying to decide if you want to get a bigger machine or a Q20 or Q16, for instance, this one machine does the embroidery, the utility stitches, and has all this beautiful space, and the 3 modes for the BSR, the BISR, to do all your free motion quilting.
So if you're limited, you only have space for one machine, this might be your good option, because it really can do everything. It's 14 inches, the Q16 is 16 inches, so you really almost get virtually the same amount of throat space. And with this cabinet, you've got plenty of countertop space too.
Yeah, when Bernina was telling us this machine was going to come out, they kept saying, "It's fabulous, you'll love it." And it is fabulous.
Yeah, they're right. Yes,
so
definitely.
Right.
Yep.
So
thank you very much for stopping by Artistic Artifacts this morning, and we hope to see you in the store today for our end of bolt sale. So great opportunity, like I said earlier, to get that quilt backing at a really good price. So come by and see us. Thanks, everybody. Have a good day.
See ya.